Hey guys, so since you guys liked the last video so much, I figured I would come back and do the rest of the interview that came out last week. There were some things that she said that really pissed me off, so we're just gonna pick up where we left off, where she says that she told the truth when I think we know pretty well that she didn't, so let's just start there.
They plan to appeal that verdict. And as for the notion from her,
I was a part of this because I was, and it was ugly and could be very beautiful. It was very, very toxic. We were awful to each other. You know, I made a lot of mistakes. A lot of mistakes. But I've always told the truth.
Hurd's lawyers say they plan to appeal that verdict. And as for the notion from her that there was evidence allowed in that UK trial that could have potentially made a difference last week, Depp's attorney said here on Today that the evidence presented in the latest trial far exceeded the UK one, two different processes, and they believe the jury got it right. Well, we have a lot more of our conversation to share with you tomorrow morning on Today, including Hurd's response to some of the other allegations made about.
I remember Savannah saying that, but hearing her say it again, it really reinforces like what side she is on. Really, she's trying to say like, look, the facts were there. They said the facts said what they needed to say. It stood where it stood.
Her in court, and her answer when I asked how she feels about Johnny Depp now. We've got lots more of that. Our exclusive interview with Amber Heard will also air on a special edition of Dateline. That's Friday night at 8, 7 Central. There was a lot to talk about, and we'll continue the conversation tomorrow.
There's a text message where Johnny promises total global humiliation for you. Do you feel like that came true?
Are you gonna answer or not?
I know he promised it. I testified to this. I'm not a good victim, I get it. I'm not a likable victim. I'm not a perfect victim, but...
I do know that there was a moment where she was on the stand, and I'm sure we all remember her like being very indignant about being called a victim, and all of a sudden she's repeatedly calling herself a victim now. This is just okay. Interesting.
You wanted to make those claims seem believable.
They are believable. They were
You wanted
believable.
them to be seen, you wanted to be seen, excuse me, as a noble victim of domestic violence,
I
didn't
have
you?
never wanted to be seen as a victim. Nor have I
You-
ever called myself one.
When I testified, I asked the jury to just see me as human and hear his own words, which is a promise to do this. It feels as though he has.
Amber Heard reflecting on the ripple effects of her tumultuous trial with Johnny Depp.
Having been found liable, are you nervous as we are here today about what you can say now?
Of course. I took for granted what I assumed was my right to speak.
Do you feel like you could be sued again by him for defamation?
I'm scared that no matter what I do, no matter what I say or how I say it, every step that I take will present another opportunity for this sort of silencing, which is what I guess it...
Girl, you ain't being silenced. Like, what are you talking about? You were lying. That's the thing. Defamation is when you are saying things that are not true. That is the thing. You can say whatever you want if there is something behind it. But if you're just saying shit and it's lies, the fuck?
Defamation lawsuit is meant to do. It's meant to
Let's go back a little bit.
sing. Which is what I guess a defamation lawsuit is meant to do. It's meant to-
Wait, hold on.
No matter what I say,
Are here today about what you can say now?
of course, I took for granted what I assumed was my right to speak.
Do you feel like you could be sued again by him for defamation?
I'm scared that no matter what I do, no matter what I say or how I say it, every step that I take will present another opportunity for this sort of silencing, which is what I guess a defamation lawsuit is meant to do. It's meant to take your voice.
But Amber is still.
That is so frustrating. It's not meant to take your voice. It's just you need to stop lying. The fact that you're still out here doing interviews and spreading the narrative that you were the victim when the evidence says otherwise is just, that is what's getting you in trouble.
Still speaking just days after a jury stunned many and found the actress defamed Depp in an op-ed where she said she was a public figure representing domestic abuse. The piece, which never mentioned Depp by name, was published 2 years after the couple announced they had settled their divorce.
Life had seemingly moved on, and you decide to write an op-ed. Why did you do that?
Because the op-ed wasn't about my relationship with Johnny.
And then she continues to fucking lie. 'Cause the op-ed wasn't about Johnny. Is she for real right now? You admitted to that being about Johnny on the stand. Like, on the stand. Dear Slim, I wrote you, but you still ain't calling. I meant stand, but you know what I mean. This is fucking ridiculous.
I know how many people will come out and say whatever for him. That's his power. That's why I wrote the op-ed, is I was speaking to that phenomenon. How many people will come out in support of him and will fall to his power? He is a very powerful man, and people love currying favor with powerful men.
But it alluded to him.
Okay,
It was unmistakable.
just a second. We'll go back.
Why did you do that?
Because the op-ed wasn't about my relationship with Johnny.
But it alluded to him. It was unmistakable.
You know, what the op-ed was about was,
It was about Johnny, bitch. Just admit it.
you know, me loaning my voice to a bigger cultural conversation that we were having at the time.
Did you worry? Gosh, I'd love to be a person weighing in on these cultural issues, but that's going to stir this all up again.
I obviously knew it was important for me not to make it about him or to do anything like defame him. I had lawyers, teams of lawyers, review all the drafts of this.
Yeah, you had them all review all the drafts and they still fucked up. Isn't that a shame? That's wild, isn't it, Amber?
Do anything like defame him. I had lawyers, teams of lawyers, review all the drafts of this.
When you wrote this op-ed, it was the height of Me Too. Legions of powerful men being canceled, losing their jobs. Did you want that to happen to Johnny Depp?
Of course not. Of course not. It wasn't about him.
But the op-ed and the abuse alleged was at the heart of the 6-week trial.
Just pulls his arm back with the phone and throws it at my face. Hit me right in it felt like my eye.
Heard testified that the final straw came after a violent fight in May 2016. 6 days later, she filed for a restraining order, cameras capturing her as she left the courthouse. But Depp's lawyers convinced the jury Heard was lying about
The audacity. I still can't.
The abuse. Police who responded to the 2016 incident testified during the trial that they didn't see any injuries and that Heard declined to file charges.
This was a hoax, is according to his team. Why didn't I cooperate with the police? As I've testified before, and I will stand by until my dying day, I didn't want to cooperate with them. I didn't want this to be out. I didn't want this to be known. I didn't want to cooperate with them because I didn't want this to be, I didn't want to get him in trouble. If it was a hoax, I could have done that.
But 5 days later, you went to court, and it came out.
5 days later, I made the decision to stand up for myself and protect myself. You can't get a restraining order in private, which of course I didn't understand the night when the cops were called.
An employee of TMZ testified at court and said that TMZ was tipped off about when you were going to be going to the courthouse and on what side of your face bruises would be apparent. Did you tip off TMZ?
I was gonna say, he certainly didn't get tipped off by me or anyone in my...
Did anyone you know tip off TMZ?
Why would they? No.
You asked no one to do that.
As I testified to before, it had nothing to do with me.
They're different.
Then who was it? Who would have known? You were the only one who knew. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know, man. I don't know. Adivinaron. I don't know. Like,
Incidents that you testified to, and the Depp legal team would put up pictures of you publicly right after that or in the days following and saying that why are there no bruises?
Again, it's that thing. If you have bruising, if you have injuries, it's fake. If you don't have any, then you weren't injured.
You had promised.
that's such a non-answer, though. Because if you would have had bruising, no makeup would cover that shit up. I'm sorry, but...
to donate the $7 million of your divorce settlement to charity. It was revealed at trial that you haven't done so yet. However, they played a tape where you stayed on the air that you have donated it. Do you think that raised questions as to your credibility with the jury?
Showed it.
I made a pledge, and
Don't start with this pledge shit, please. Don't do it.
that pledge is made over time by its nature.
When you
And
say I donated, you know that everybody thinks that you've donated it, not that you've pledged it. So for the jurors sitting there, do you think they felt like that was you getting caught in a lie?
I don't know, because I feel like so much of the trial was meant to cast aspersions on who I am as a human.
No. Because as a human, if you say that you're going to donate all of your divorce money to a charity, you would do that the second you get all of the money. Especially if you say that you don't want anything. That's all we're saying. You keep saying that you didn't want his money, and it's just really looking like you used the money for something else and you don't want to admit it, and you didn't donate it to charity. That's it. You're being dishonest, and that's fine, but you don't want to admit it now. How do you think that looks to people? Like you're being greedy and you don't want to admit it and you're lying about it. That's all, baby.
My credibility, to call me a liar in every way you can. And
That was the trial. It was a credibility contest.
Pretty much.
That was it.
this is another one of the examples where if you pull back and you think about it, I shouldn't have to have donated it in an effort to be believed.
Yes, you should have. What are you talking about, Amber? You said you were gonna do something. The whole point was, if you were gonna get money in this divorce, it was going to go to charity, because you obviously said you didn't want money from him, right? So if you got anything, it was gonna go to charity. That was the agreement, right? But no, you wanted to keep it. And then you're like, oh, but why won't you believe me? Because you're lying about the tiniest things.
Shouldn't have had to earmark the entirety of that in order to have.
You shouldn't have, but once you said you did.
Right, which is where it was intended to go.
Heard says she still plans to honor that pledge.
How do you see your future now?
I get to be a mom, like, full time, you know, where I'm not having to juggle
Okay.
calls
Good for you, I guess.
with lawyers.
One day you may
I'm happy
want to
for
tell
you.
your daughter about this or have to tell your daughter about everything that you've gone through. What would you want to say?
I think no matter what, it will mean something. I did the right thing. I did everything I could to stand up for myself and the truth.
Heard and Depp's volatile relationship
No, you
lasted
didn't,
just
because you lied. You didn't. You lied about another person, and then you like. I don't know. This is really at the point where I'm beginning to check out, because this is too interpersonal into someone's life. Obviously, this entire case was that. We got to peer into their lives for a second with the trial, but now we're getting into like really deep territory where she's starting to like call TMZ to come watch her shop at TJ Maxx because she wants to cover up her fucking trips on private jets and shit. And I don't really care about all of that. And we're also seeing her past affairs that we already kind of semi-confirmed, and we're like, it's resurfacing again for whatever reason. And it's seeming more like Amber leaking all this stuff to the outlets because, you know, she has nothing to lose. It's like, oh, might as well throw it all to the wolves since, you know, fuck it, I lost. I ain't got shit to lose. I need some money. It is what it is. So this is probably gonna be my last video on all this stuff. So I really appreciate everybody who stopped by and watched my videos on this. Y'all are real. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for leaving comments. Y'all are awesome to have conversations with. So I hope you stick around. If you don't, that's also cool. But yeah, let's continue watching.
To stand up for myself and the truth.
Heard and Depp's volatile relationship lasted just 4 years. Depp confirming his engagement to me on Today in 2014.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Are you excited?
Yeah, very.
Oh.
She's a wonderful girl. She's sharp as a tack. You know, wonderful. You know, Southern belle, and sweet as can be, and very good for me. You know.
On the first day of the
I really hope he wasn't already getting abused by then, because that would be very, very sad.
trial, you issued a statement, and part of the statement said, "I still have love for Johnny."
Yes.
Is that
Oh, no. This part is just disturbing for me. I don't know what it is, but it's like, I don't like you talking about like still loving him after like all the shit that you caused. Like,
and part of the statement said, "I still have love for Johnny."
Yes.
Is that still true?
Yes.
After everything?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love him. I loved him with all my heart. And I tried the best.
see, first she says, I love him. I loved him with all my heart. It's a little weird, like how in this conversation you can both put yourself in love with him and then take yourself out of it. I don't know.
I could to make a deeply broken relationship. Absolutely. Absolutely. I love him. I loved him with all my heart. And I tried the best I could to make a deeply broken relationship work. And I couldn't. I'm no...
I do believe that she tried to make it work, but in her way. And that's a little scary.
And I couldn't. I have no bad feelings or ill will towards him at all. I know that might be hard to understand, or it might be really easy to understand. If you've just ever loved anyone, it should be easy.
Depp's attorneys have said they do not see the verdict in this case as a setback to victims of domestic violence coming forward. Heard's legal team has said that they do plan to appeal this summer. Quick note, we will have more of our conversation with Amber Heard during a special edition of Dateline, including evidence she says should have been included in the trial that would have bolstered her case. You can stream part of it, a sneak preview, tomorrow on Peacock, ahead of that Dateline special, a full hour airing Friday night, 8, 7 Central.
Wait, so they plan to appeal? That is interesting. Very, very interesting. I don't know how that's gonna go. I'll be honest, I don't think it's gonna go positively with this whole press tour that they've been doing after the verdict has been read, and, you know, talking shit about our justice system and talking shit about the judge and our jury. It's pretty gross, really, but I guess
It's been about
we'll see.
more than a week since.
But thank you for watching this with me. I didn't really want to watch anything else besides that. I think that this is it for the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard saga, unless there's another trial, of course. If there's another trial, you already know I'm in there, but besides that, I'm pretty much done. My next video is probably going to be about a Netflix show that I watched called You Don't Know Me, so stay tuned for that. So, yeah, if you're not into that kind of stuff, well, it is what it is, man. Thank you for the views. See ya. Bye.